season is going to teach us anything, it's going to be the importance of time management as we work out how to play as many open worlds as possible in the shortest period of time. If you've seen any of our previous videos, you haven't? You should totally subscribe. Then you'll know just how much we love to lose ourselves in open world games, whiling away the hours taking perfect screenshots and practicing significantly deadlier headshots. Here then are Matt and I's picks of the best ones to tide you over until the new batch arrive. As a rule, open world games come with fast travel. It's a mark of respect, a tip of the Stetson to respect your valuable time, if you will. Red Dead Redemption, though, while it does have fast travel from your camp, has an open world so delectable that it demands your exploration on horseback. Red Dead, for many, will actually be a horse riding simulator, simply because it's such a joy to gallop across the beautiful countryside, dodging the occasional bullet, and enjoying picturesque sunsets. Plus, as wish fulfillment goes, the potential of your cowboy status makes this adventure irresistible. You've got your swanky outfits, your gun, don't forget to clean it, and heaps of attitude. There's a long and twisting tale that forms the narrative backbone of Rockstar's masterpiece, but it's the living, breathing world you won't be able to forget when you turn off your PC.
Madam?
Hi there.
You know that moment where you've been at a party a little bit too long and you step outside and walk home in that blissful post-chatter silence? Well, Death Stranding is a celebration of exactly that feeling. In it, a supernatural cataclysm has forced humanity underground, and as Sam Porter bridges, you have to trek across the bleak but beautiful landscape, reconnecting these scattered remnants of civilization.
As you can see, the Death Stranding poked us full of holes.
There's plenty of classic Kojima weirdness here, of course, babies in jars, killer rain, and deeply indulgent cutscenes. But like Metal Gear Solid 5, which could also be on this list, it's set in a landscape that will leave a curious mark on your soul, a strange, desaturated echo of the world that was, that feels as vivid and beautiful and intimidating as the real thing. On paper, it should be an absolute drag, a UPS delivery simulator fetch quest in which your most feared obstacle is a slightly tricky incline, but in practice, it's a uniquely memorable hike through an unmissable open world.
Yes, it's been 9 years, and yes, Matt has crowbarred this onto yet another list, but hear him and me out. There's a reason that even the idea of Elder Scrolls 6 being in production melted the internet. Quite simply, it's because nothing since has quite lived up to the sprawling medieval fantasy world of Northern Tamriel. Here, the main quest is merely something to do if you somehow got bored of wandering around. You can befriend, or indeed annoy, NPCs and lurk in towns on high mountaintops or within secret underground societies. You could totally give up adventuring and collect cabbages to sell at local markets.
You look like a traveler. Someone that has seen faraway places and heard new stories.
But the joy of a good open world game like Skyrim is the freedom you feel to make the story your own and the universe your playground. You can be the Dragonborn, the chosen one who saves the world. Or you could be the guy who gets squished by a giant on the way to their very first quest.
We love a bit of Kingdom Come here, and even now, over 2 years after release, it strikes that brilliant balance between realism and escapism. Deliverance is different because it has roots in reality. It's set in a real place during a real period of conflict. You'll have to eat, sleep, and learn the skills you need to survive. And much like real life, people will like you less if you decide not to bathe. And even if actual medieval life might have been far more unpleasant than Kingdom Come suggests, that rich vein of realism is enough to make Henry's Adventures unlike so many other games. Whether you're picking nettles, learning to read, or poaching the local fauna to make a few groschen, exploring Bohemia is like stepping inside a history lesson where you don't need to remember anything and your favourite teacher will show you how to sword fight. Nice work, Henry.
Are you alright, sir?
Don't worry your mangy head about me, peasant. We'll see each other again soon enough. You can keep my bow. Its best years are behind us anyway.
It might have taken 3 years to get here, but as a sweetener, ex-PS4 exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn arrives on PC in its most complete form with its chilly Frozen Wilds DLC. Not that you'll be looking for anything extra to do for at least 40 hours. This sprawling post-apocalypse is a tantalising mix of exploration and precise robot dinosaur destruction in an innovative and fresh new setting. Yes, Far Cry's radio towers are here, but they're in the shape of giant robotic dinosaur necks, which lends some new, well, perspective.
Take your bow.
The creature design means there's a veritable scrapyard's worth of Jurassic Park-alikes, just waiting to be clambered up or annihilated with dozens of arrows. Aloy makes great company too, meaning that piecing together the fall of humanity has never been this much fun. Any chance of Spidey next, Sony?
Now that you've got yourself a tripcaster, practice how to use it someplace else, all right? My life's exciting enough without a bunch of shock wire booby traps to trip over.
Really? Could have fooled me.
Alright then, so this is a list of 10 and it's only one entry, and if you watched this and The Witcher 3 wasn't on here and you hadn't played it, well then we'd be doing you a massive disservice. So maybe this entry isn't for the people who've played The Witcher 3, or those of you who tried it but didn't like it, because yes, those people do exist, but it's simply too important a game to leave off a list like this. There's character craft and immersion in every single weather-beaten branch of Geralt's world. It paints a better picture of a war-torn landscape than most TV, movies or books. And the fact it's developed by CD Projekt Red is a reason to give a shout out to the forthcoming Cyberpunk 2077, which will almost certainly be on the 2021 iteration of this list. And if it's anything like The Witcher 3, it'll stay there for years.
Halt! Standing Jew! I challenge you!
Boots a bit big, maybe? Careful not to trip.
Maybe what you want from an open world is the true, well, openness of it all. The unexplored waiting to be discovered. Well, Outer Wilds has planets worth of discovery just waiting for you. It's not an RPG with endless quests to tick off like other entries on this list. In fact, what you're meant to do and where you're meant to go is a complete mystery. Each planet is a puzzle piece to help unlock why you're here, stuck in an endless time loop while the sun explodes over and over. But don't let that overwhelm you. There are clues everywhere, so you never feel stuck with nothing to do. Or, if you're really unsure, just sit down and roast a marshmallow. Everything is okay with a marshmallow. If you're tired of following endless markers and well-worn paths, the Outer Wilds is a rustic frontier just waiting to suck you up into a tornado of discovery.
Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is a different type of open-world game in that it's not strictly free roam, at least not in the 3D Skyrim-y sense. Instead, you have a huge world map to explore, peppered with settlements, bandit camps, cities and so on. And it's not a static map either. Hordes of soldiers roam the land, some friendly, some not so friendly. The choice of what to do in this fascinating RPG sandbox is entirely up to you. You could dedicate yourself to a liege and work your way up the feudal system, amassing soldiers and wealth, or you could just become a roaming bandit, picking off society's sickly gazelles at the back of the pack. It's this breadth of choice that speaks to Bannerlord's quality as an open-world game. You might not be able to climb every mountain or pick every flower, but the decisions about the impact you have on the world are all yours, and they are captivating.
time to get that backlog in order. How can you have your murderous dessert if you haven't killed your starter or even your main course? Thus, before Far Cry 6 explodes into view in February, there's never been a better time to catch up with a dive into Far Cry 5 and its brightly coloured sequel New Dawn. To discuss the latter is kind of to spoil the former, but both see you wandering, swimming and driving at breakneck speeds across the lush and thankfully fictional Hope County in Montana. The Far Cry formula is now a well-oiled murder machine with a deadly tick list and adorable animal friends. But that's exactly what makes it so compelling. These are worlds where the campaign can happily be ignored in favour of hunting down stashes of vital perks, headshotting goons, setting bears on fire, and getting your to-do list in order. All with time to give your favourite pig a good scratch. Good boy, Horatio.
Hey, what's this I'm hearing that the giant pig got away? We were gonna cook that up for the party after the derby!
Yakuza 0 might not be the openest of open worlds, taking place as it does in two limited districts of Tokyo and Osaka. But both of these places, meticulously based on real-life locations, make up for their lack of size with incredible character and density. Ask anyone who's played a Yakuza game and they'll regale you with tales of their favourite beef bowl restaurants, their most beloved convenience stores, and the best walls to weaponise against low-ranking Yakuza punks. You'll come to know and love every narrow alley, steaming backstreet and noisy pachinko parlour. You'll get a rush of pleasant familiarity whenever you see the Kamurocho Gate. And unlike so many other open-world games, there's a cinematic quality to the story and characters that will leave an indelible mark on your memory. If you want to escape to somewhere that's neither fantasy sprawl or US city, the best place to begin is Yakuza 0.